Alright guys, welcome today to math class. Here is your assignment for class today. It's just an entrance task for you to try real quick on a separate sheet of paper. I did post an actual assignment for you to turn in after. It's actually shorter than this entrance task, just 3 questions. But go ahead and try these area problems, and I did put the formulas at the top of the page too, so you can reference that or your notes later when you do the assignment. So you can pause the video right now and try these 4 problems, then I'll go over the answers, and then I'll also go over the answers on page 6. And that's pretty much what we're going to do today. So just making sure you can do all this area stuff, trying to keep it pretty basic and easy for you here for the second week of April. So go ahead, pause it. Alright, so as we look at these here, before I show you the answers, a couple things to keep in mind. This one says in terms of pi. So for the circle, you can leave pi in your answer, since I said that, because some of you might not have scientific calculator. This one as a trapezoid, and I put it sideways, so I would still consider it, even if you put the trapezoid sideways, the 2 parallel sides are always the bases. Alright, so I talked about that before, but I haven't shown you a problem, I think, on the side like that. So 16 and 8 would be your bases, and 9 would be the distance between the bases, which would be considered our height, even though it's sideways. So if you turned it like this, it would look more like what you're used to. Alright, so it's still the same shape even if you draw it sideways. So let's take a look at your answers, see how you did. So our area of a circle, pi r squared, I plugged 7 in for the radius and I squared it. 7 squared is 49, 7 times 7, 49. So I do 49 pi in my unit. I almost messed up there. Meters squared. So it's 49 pi meters squared. By the way, if it said nearest tenth, all you would do is do 49 times pi in your calculator, and then you'd have a decimal you'd round to the nearest tenth. But that's not what it says for this one. It says in terms of pi, so your answer is 49 pi. 2, a rectangle, your favorite one, I'm sure. It's just base times height. No confusion. 11, 8, base and height, boom, 88. Parallelogram can be a little bit more confusing. The 8 doesn't factor in here. You consider the base, again, kind of like the trapezoid I just talked about. You can turn it sideways and say that the side is the base, but you just need to have a side where they give you the 90-degree distance between the side that you're going to consider your bases here. So 12 and 12 would be those top and bottom. That would be my base. 6 would be my height, my distance between the bases. So I end up with the 12 times 6, which is 72. By the way, if they did give you a 90-degree distance between these ones here, you would be able to multiply that as your base and that height too. It doesn't matter which side. It's just whatever side that they happen to tell you the distance between the bases, because if they don't tell you that distance, you can't do the problem. Alright, and then finally number 4, as I already kind of explained here, I would consider 12 and 8 to be my bases and 9 to be my height. So I plug that in. The average base of 16 and 8 ends up being, when you add 24 divided by 2, my average base is 12. My height, the distance between the bases, is 9. 12 times 9 is 108 centimeters squared. So that's your entrance task problems, and the assignment that you're going to try is just like that. Here is page 6, what you're supposed to try on Friday. Look at the top 3 here first. Rectangle, just base times height, or it's actually a square because they're the same, so 6 times 6 is 36, 36 centimeters squared. Trapezoid, 3 and 8, your average base ends up being 5.5. That's a decimal. It's okay, nothing wrong with decimals. Don't discriminate against decimals, they're numbers too. So 5.5 times 13, we get 71.5, and that would be feet squared in this case. And then number 5, a parallelogram. They didn't even give you this distance on the side here, so it's really not too confusing. You only have the 5 and the 3. 5 times 3 is 15. That's the base. This is an example of a parallelogram kind of written sideways, and they give you the 90-degree distance across 3. So you get 5 and 3's when you multiply them, 15 inches squared. And then the bottom 2, you get another trapezoid. The average base ends up being 6, and the height, the distance between those bases, is 8. 6 times 8 is 48, so you get 48 yards squared, or square yards you could say. And 12 times 15 for the rectangle here, this is 180 inches squared. By the way, for the assignment, you're probably not going to easily be able to get exponents into Google Docs, so you can just write out, like for this one, you could say 180, let's see it here a little bit better, you can write out 180 square inches, and that's perfectly fine. 180 square inches, and that's probably how you'll do it on your assignment that you turn in on Google Docs. So use the examples from the last couple of classes that we've had, and the entrance task, and the formulas from the notes or from today's entrance task, and you should be perfectly fine to try that assignment. And I will check in with you guys tomorrow. All right, have a great day, enjoy the weather, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.